Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. How nice that you are watching our program again. We are nearing the end of another section of our broadcastings, so let us briefly look back. In the series Experiment Immortality, we had spoken about the very first and easiest steps of the practice of Agni Yoga. Know thyself, namely as an immortal spiritual being. Transform yourself into an immortal spiritual being and transform the world into a better place. We have then, in the series Introduction to Agni Yoga, looked at the main theoretical foundations, the cosmic laws, without the knowledge of which no practical progress is possible. The significance and expansion of consciousness, evolution and hierarchy, karma and reincarnation, and the conditions that prevail in the supermundane world. Today we return to practice. We shall be discussing in this broadcasting the mission, and in the next broadcasting the path and the goal of man. Thereafter will follow a new series entitled The 10 Pillars of the Practice of Agni Yoga. It will address the concrete implementation of the higher knowledge in our ordinary everyday life. We had already said several times, Agni Yoga is a synthesis of science and religion. Therefore, we shall show you now how to find the meaning of your life on a scientific basis. Man has a dual nature. He consists of a visible, perishable, and an invisible, eternal part. We need to develop both sides of our being, the body and the soul. Otherwise, we shall miss our mission. You remember the cycles of involution and evolution. According to this, humanity has developed on the descending arc of the involution of the spirit, the physical, material, intellectual side of our being. Today, after crossing the lowest point, we are required on the ascending arc of the evolution of the spirit to refine and to spiritualize the material creature that the spirit has produced, ourselves, the body. In today's fifth and in the upcoming sixth and seventh race, and even more so in the coming fifth, sixth and seventh cycle, the development of our mortal ego, the lower tetrad, physical body, body of feelings, body of instincts and body of thoughts, is largely completed. It is now the development of our immortal self, the soul, the higher triad, Manas, Buddhi, Atma, that is on the curriculum of the evolution. Consciously must the spirit be nurtured. Please review once more our broadcastings 4, the law of evolution, and 11, the subtle constitution of man, if you do not remember these indispensable foundations of a scientific understanding of the meaning of life. Evolution of the spirit means the divine spark, the particle of the divine spirit within us, strives to express itself in matter, to realize or to manifest itself through matter. For every one of us is true what the Church admits only to Jesus Christ. We are an incarnation of the divine spirit or Logos. We were created in the image of God. We must never forget this high dignity. According to this inner model, we should mold ourselves, make of ourselves a work of art as a sculptor does. As it says in the Bible, "And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him." Similarly, says Agni Yoga, one cannot express it more powerfully than to say that man is created in the image of the highest. Mediocrity arises from the failure of man to realize his inherent forces. This is the mission of every one of us, to embody the spirit that animates us. As so often here too, Goethe has found the right words. I believe that we carry a spark of that eternal light within us that needs to shine in the ground of all being, and which our feeble senses have guessed only from afar. To make that spark within us become a flame, and to realize the divine within us, that is our highest duty. Reveal the divine within you means let this part of your being, not your perishable animal ego, act on earth through thoughts, words, and deeds. Your dignity as a human being demands that you bring your higher self to expression. The divine of your nature yearns to grow, to flourish. It strives to imbue, to transform, to spiritualize, to transfigure. That means to deify, not only you, but the whole material world as well. Agni Yoga says, all the forces of cosmos should be consecrated to the blossoming of the spirit. In every situation, there is a higher and a lower path. The choice is always with you. Do you want to manifest your lower animal nature or the sacred within you. Every thought, every word, every action should be marked by your spiritual nature, the soul. Allow to the spirit its will. Ask yourself, what does the spirit wish? As it wishes, so you should act. The scientific answer to the question of our mission, of the meaning of our life, thus leads us to a mantra that you should keep in mind at every moment. I shall realize the divine of my nature only. The goal of our earthly stay, the new stage of evolution, the new man, is only achieved when we have learned to manifest at every moment our higher self. The higher and the lower levels of evolution, stones, plants, human beings, masters of wisdom, angels, rulers of planets, solar systems and universes, differ only in so far as some of them already manifest their divine core to a greater extent than others. Helena Blavatsky recognized Jesus' divinity only so far as he had cultivated the spark of the divine in his nature to a greater degree than had the masses of humanity. We had already said, evolution means man is on the way to God. You actually become a God to the extent that you embody the eternal, the royal, the priestly, the divine side of your nature. The spiritual greatness of a man is determined not so much by what he is doing, because our opportunities for action depend largely upon circumstances that we cannot fully master, but more by what he is, namely by the extent to which he already manifests the attributes of God. Man is the light of the world. He is sent to bring the divine light into the darkness of the material spheres. As it says in the Bible, "Ye are the light of the world. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light shine before men." This mission you realize by kindling, maintaining, and nourishing the divine fire within yourself, by letting this flame permeate and transform your whole being. When the fire of the Spirit burns within you, you shine in its glory. Then you are a pure chalice from which the divine light can radiate into the world. We must attain the stage where we radiate light from our innermost being, for it is then that we are true co-workers with the higher worlds. Radiating the light of grace, we are, at the same time, doctors, creators, and protectors on the descending line of the hierarchy. First we see the outer light, and then we come to know the light within ourselves. But only after the kindling of the torch can we radiate light. The divine light that transfigures you also flows into your environment. A light bearer, by emitting warmth, knowledge, peace, and blessings, not only raises himself, but everything else with which he gets in touch. How, then, does a hierarch create upon earth? By uplifting everything that surrounds him. You can light up the fire of the Spirit everywhere. If you are imbued with the Spirit, your fire can ignite others, enlighten the darkness of the world, and show the way upwards. Though not many people know the fires of the heart, these torches must provide light for all. Let your fire be a beacon for your companions. What does science tell us more about our mission? Man belongs with his perishable body to the earthly plane, and with his immortal soul to the higher spiritual world. He is the creature that rests with his feet on the ground and touches heaven with his spirit. This dual nature determines our mission. Man is a mediator, a bridge between the two worlds. Man is a bridge to the higher worlds. He is a link between the material and the spiritual world. The Agni Yogi is a link between the planet and the higher worlds.